Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of the PGC Masterclass. I'm so excited that you guys are here with us again. So to quickly tell you about what we are doing on our second episode, we are going to be talking to the one and only Mrunal Thakur. We will be concentrating on what it is like to make an impact in the industry when you come in, especially when you've made a move from TV to the movies. How do you make an impact? Very quickly, to tell you all a little bit about how we're going to change things around this time, I am going to stop the comment section once Mrunal is here, just so that we can see her face clearly. And for all of you guys that miss out on the chat, you will be able to see it on our YouTube page later on. If you guys have any questions, I would say that you can leave your questions with us, and towards the end of the chat, when we've done a bunch of questions with her ourselves, you can then send us your questions in, and we will pick a few questions and have her answer them for you. Also, to tell you guys a little bit about why we've been doing this, or all of the new people that have joined us this time that may have not been there for the first episode. The idea behind the PGC Masterclass essentially was so that you guys can get answers. Or so many times I get answers. So many times I get questions asked by actors, regarding the audition process. How do you make it? How do you, nail a test? What kind of attitude you should have when you go for auditions? So many things I get asked. Even actors that I regularly see, they ask me questions about, the kind of attitude, the right attitude that actors should have to be able to sustain in the industry. What I thought would be interesting is if we actually got actors here and, got them to answer the questions for you guys directly from the horse's mouth, so that you guys know that everybody's journey is kind of filled with victories, it has struggles, it has all of those things that I'm asked about so often. Okay, let's quickly check where Mrunal is and bring her in. If you guys also have any suggestions of people that you all would like to see, for me to do an interview with, please send us your suggestions, and it would be fun to see if we can get those people in to come and do a chat with us. Okay, we'll just send a message quickly to Mrunal and wait for her. I will put the questions, I will tag you guys in the questions that we asked, so you guys know who you all are, the ones that asked the questions. But the only reason why we are putting the comments off is just so that we can have a, like an undistracted conversation with her and know more about her journey overall. Okay, let's wait for her. One sec. One sec. Okay. Okay, we're just waiting. Hi, Mila.
Hello. How are you, my lovely?
I'm very well. How are you doing during this lockdown? I would love to know what's been up.
Well, I'm learning a lot of things.
Okay.
To start with, ballet was something on my mind, and fortunately I have this teacher who I joined like a couple of years ago but couldn't complete it because of the television timings that I had. It was insane.
Of course. Yeah.
So he's kind of now taking online classes. So it's a very difficult dance form, but trust me, it just helps in so many ways. So I'm really happy.
Are you doing like Zoom classes, or how are you guys doing the classes?
Yes, it's Zoom classes. Sometimes, because everybody, the Wi-Fi network is so awful, sometimes we end up even calling FaceTime or WhatsApp. Yeah.
So very quickly, we are going to give you an introduction, not like you need one. But for everyone that's listening out there, Mrunal started her career as an actor. And after having a fairly long stint actually in TV, she made the switch to the movies with a fantastic but unconventional choice, which was Love, Sonya. And then, of course, she went on to being the leading lady in Super 30, and then you're doing so much upcoming work. There was Batla House, then there's Jersey, there's Tufan. So first of all, welcome, and thank you so much for doing the chat with us.
That's quite an introduction, Panchami. Thank you. I'm really happy that we are doing this because there are so many questions. Like when I see your live, the last live with Abhimanyu, I saw it was amazing because I only consider my journey. I only it's just me, myself, and I. But when you hear someone else's story, you understand that what are the kind of exactly problems that he or she must have gone through. So thank you very much for doing this.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we could have you here. So very quickly, Mrunal, let's start with your journey that's been in television. You
Yes.
started your journey as a television actor. What was that like? What was your audition process? Did you also, like many other actors, wait in lines, and the wait game was long? Take a while before you bagged your first part, which was "Mujhse Kuch Kehti Hain Khamoshi." Tell us about that.
Yes. So here's the drill. Okay, the drill was I used to live in a hostel. So, and I used to get done with my college by around like say 1 or 2 max. And what would I do all day? And because I'm such a hyper person, I was like, let me just do this audition, which my friend had recommended me. And he said that by the time you reach your third year, you're done with your graduation, you're done with your PhD or whatever, you will not get it. So keep trying it. I just got lucky because the monologue that they gave me, I remember my very first audition, it was for a Marathi serial for Star Pravaha. And the monologue was about on mother, that I miss you, mom. And I used to live in a hostel, so you understand, it just came from within.
Yeah.
No workshops. I had no idea how to face a camera. The only thing was I just emoted myself without thinking that there are too many people around me.
Right.
And that just led me to from Star Prava to Star Plus. And the audition script that I got was Geet from Jab We Met. I had to perform a scene from Jab We Met. And I absolutely adore Geet. And who doesn't?
Who doesn't? True.
Trust me, that's one of the most difficult character and a difficult scene to perform because I realized that it's very easy to cry in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to make someone laugh, be happy, happy-go-lucky. It's really, really difficult. And I just took advantage of watching Jab We Met several, like n number of times, and just I was just transparent. When it comes to, I thought that I was Geet. I thought I was Kareena. I love Bebo. Like I admire her, and probably one of the reasons why I'm in the industry.
Right.
Followed by the show happened. The show went off air also in 3 months. Sorry.
You obviously gave like a regular audition process, which can be like long and tedious.
Yeah, I remember buying my first makeup, like my first Lakme foundation. There's no branding here, and today I represent Lakme. I mean, imagine.
That's amazing.
I remember before going to the audition, I went to a medical store to buy that Lakme foundation, and because the casting director told me that to put some makeup, and I had borrowed a lipstick and a dress from my friend of mine, Anushri, who used to, because I had absolutely they would just say, okay, one fine day you will have to dress up in Indian attire, and who would have that in the hostel?
Yeah.
The journey started. Mujhse Kuch Kehti Khamoshi happened. I went to London for the first time. I got my passport made for that. So imagine what kind of a journey it would have been. Yes, though the show ran for 3 months only. So that was discouraging because, I had a different struggle and different battle to fight with my family for them to support me to pursue acting as my career. So in the midst of that, the moment I won that battle, the show went off air, which was all the way disheartening because the term and condition that I did this show was, this is my first and last show of my life.
Oh God.
This is something I had promised my father. And the moment the show's TRP was 4.7 when it opened on a Diwali evening, where there are no much viewers, but 4.7 TRP was a huge success. So when the show went off air due to some reasons, my dad was like, "What's next?" And coming from him meant the world to me. And I was like, "Dad, I'm not going to look back now.
Oh my
Thank you
God.
for, yeah.
Your parents have been super supportive of the whole process. But you're saying in the beginning it was a bit of a struggle to like convince them that you want to kind of take a different than let's say any like when you study and you qualify yourself, your parents imagine that you'll take another career path. But for some reason there is some taboo with the movies in India. I mean, I faced it myself. So what was that like? Your dad was not very keen for you to be an actor, or your
Not at
parents?
all.
Okay.
The statement he made, we don't want positive publicity, but sorry, we don't want negative publicity, but we don't want positive publicity either. So just stay away from. I remember he flew from Cochin because I used to stay in hostel. He
Yeah.
waited down in my women hostel to tell me that you are not doing this show, and I just said that give me one.
Yeah. One second. One second. Yeah.
I was really, I just told him one thing, that this is my passion. I love stories. You know, when I look up to the screen, I feel like that character, that person who's playing that character is me.
Right.
And, you know, as a little girl, I always dreamt of doing something big, something, you know, some decisions which my family or members of my family couldn't take. These were the strongest decisions that I have taken in my life, you know, to pursue career in acting.
Hmm.
I just wanted, you know, to change that thing that, you know, a girl can only, or a son can only be a doctor or an engineer.
Yeah.
So I let my BDS seat go for somebody, for that dentist who really wanted to
Who
be
really
there.
wanted it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I realized being a dentist is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So my parents, I made them believe that this was something that I really wanted to do. I never hide things from them because, you know, once you start hiding from your parents,
Yeah.
you have to lie.
Yeah. And then
So
it's
the
never ending
relationship,
journey of lying, right? Which becomes so difficult because you always have to be lying then.
absolutely. So the fact that they trusted me and I made sure that I introduced them to my producers, to my actors, to the entire cast and crew, to
Yeah.
make them feel safe, that their daughter is safe.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the entire crew was Maharashtrian. So, you know, when you speak Marathi, there's always this bond. So I got really lucky.
Okay, nice. So you did mention somewhere that you did learn a large part of your acting by just watching a lot of movies or watching Jab We Met or whatever. So you are essentially a self-taught actor. You haven't taken any formal training.
I did take workshops
Okay.
for like 3 weeks.
Right.
Two teacher, Mr. Vidhur, and there's another teacher, Pramod Ghosh.
Okay.
I mean, he would just give us the script and tell us, explain us, this is the OTS. You know, when the camera is behind your back, this is over the shoulder. So
Yeah.
do not get paranoid. When do not panic when, you know, when you see a director asking you to say the dialogues again and again, because
Right.
there is a wide shot, there is a two shot, there is a close up, there's extreme close, there's extreme wide. So there's a lot of like, the first time when my parents came on set, they're like, why do you keep saying the same dialogue 10,000 times? So yeah, I did with the help of Pramod Ghosh and Vidur sir. This classes I got after I was signed by Star Plus, by the way.
Okay. So you took training after you had got the job, sort of like a
That's right.
workshop for the part.
That's right. You know, Panchami, I feel that the drive to do something should be there. कभी लोग बोलते हैं ना कि मुझे lose करना है यार weight, you know, पर मेरे पास gym नहीं है. ये
Yeah.
सब बहाने. When you have to do
I agree.
something, even YouTube is your biggest teacher. So just
Yeah.
learn from it.
I agree. I agree, and actually, like you're saying a lot about the wide shots and the long shots and the OTS and stuff. A lot of the times when I have actors coming into the studio, that is actually some knowledge that you only get by being on set. You can be very trained. You can go abroad. You can do it here, but that information is something you will only understand when a camera is in front of you.
Absolutely.
You know, so that set experience I feel like is something that truly is irreplaceable. And there's nothing quite the way that you can learn by being there, that you can learn in any study book, especially with acting. 100%.
Yeah.
I believe in that.
Yeah, Panchami, you know, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like a lot of actors, they prefer not to do television, which
Yeah.
I don't find it a harm, because television is something where they are paying you to learn.
Yeah, correct.
And you get a lot of popularity, you get a lot of exposure, you get you know how to deal with your scenes, you go through that. So television is like newspaper, you know, every
Yeah.
day is like, every newspaper is like an episode.
Yeah.
People forget it, but in movies, you know, people look at it as it's history.
Yeah. No,
uh,
actually, I do. I'm just sorry to interrupt you there, but somewhere I do think that, or at least for me, that is changing because nowadays there are actually requirements where we say we would like a TV actor because many times what happens is that at least in emotional scenes, which you'll 100% know, is that the kind of bandwidth that we have to be able to emotionally switch on and off, which we will come to that later, because that is one of the things I
right.
want to ask you about, is amazing. And that experience, that daily, the daily soap experience that you get as an actor, it's irreplaceable, the way that you guys do it.
Yeah, Panchami, there are 3 to 4 rules that I've learned from television.
Yeah.
um, Never care about your hair and makeup, because there's no time for you to think about that. Is your hair okay, is your makeup fine? Because we have to deliver the episode. We shoot at 9 o'clock and it goes on air at 9:30.
Correct, yeah.
Then always learn your lines, because
course.
there is no chance for a retake. We're already running a lot of time, out of time. And then followed by, no matter what, never mix your personal and professional life.
Okay.
So, because I was very young, heartbreaks and stuff, I was so distracted. And then I realized that Supriya Shukla, who played my mother in Kumkum Bhagya, one of the series that I did, she lost her father. She got a call that she lost her father, and there was a knock at the door while we were hugging her. And the assistant director said that, ma'am, shot is ready. She wiped her tears and she just went out to give her shot. And then here I was thinking that we think about the fact that, oh, this guy, broke my heart, or this is not happening the way it's supposed to be. But just to embrace and just to, I don't know how to explain it, but the fact that just you embrace the fact that you have this platform and make the best use out of it. So never mix professional and personal life together. These 3 things that I learned.
Amazing. Those are definitely things that everyone should know. So quickly, like we said, that while there is a notion in the industry that you are a newcomer because maybe you were new at the movie, but actually you're not new in the industry at all. You have been here for I think you've been here around for 8 or 9 years. You've been in the industry now, which is a long period of time. What made you make that switch from TV to films? Like, did you, as an actor, feel that you were yearning to do different kind of work? Was that the reason that you made the switch?
Yeah. So the switch, I think the transition, the change is very important, and in each and every person's life. No matter if he's an actor or a banker or a photographer or anything, or be it a casting director, you lose that excitement when you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Also, there's this series that I watched, Panchmi. It's called Hollywood on Netflix, and in that she says that I mean, it's about choices. I want each and every girl, that little girl from the little small town, to look at the screens and just say that, oh my God, things are not limited. Their achievements are not limited. They can achieve whatever they want to, and it's not restricted to television or web or Bollywood or Hollywood. So also the fact that me making that switch was very important, because when I look back, when I went for audition, when I used to sit in the queue, there were many times that casting director, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about you, many casting director told me, why are you wasting your time here, darling? Just go back home. Tera kuch nahi hoga.
Have you actually been told that?
So many actors.
Really?
I mean, so many times. But I was like, sir, ek baar chance, try to kar dete hai na. Why not? So, and I would sit in that queue and watch the actors do their take. And then I realized that everybody is doing the same thing. I need to do something. Even a small fumble, like I just want to tell you, even
Yeah.
that thing, it looks so real. So I realized that these are the things that would make me different from others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delivering dialogue is also important. So I learned it from the audition process.
Yeah, sure. I see that all the time. It's actually, Mrunal, to actors that actors sometimes do tend to get very worried if a take is okay, if it has a fumble. But actually, we love fumbles. We embrace fumbles because they are so real, right? Whether it's a
Yeah.
scene or it's a fumble, these are things that happen to human beings at all times. So if they become a part of a character, there's absolutely no harm in that. In fact, when
Yeah.
you embrace it, it turns out looking more real than if you get weird and fall for a cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Unless you're doing a movie which is, in the 80s and that and this, unless it's that
yeah,
era. But trust me, so that's what my co-actors, I've been really blessed with whoever I have been. My co-actors have always taught me that whenever you're in the scene, even if you run out of lines and the director is still rolling, just keep talking, just be in the
right,
character, don't let that mood. So there are, like in Ghost Stories, for example, there is a scene between Kusha and I, and the camera was just rolling, and the scene was over, and I just didn't know what to do, and I just said, "You're such a drama queen," and when I see the series, it's still there
because
because that's the mood, that's the flow, yeah. So
okay,
you should not be restricted to what dialogues are written on the script.
of
You need
course,
to make it your stuff and present it to the audience as if you own the part.
right, right, absolutely. And improv is king. I mean, I absolutely love improv, and we are usually not very stuck to lines in the studio at all. So that's great advice to give all actors. Moving on, jumping on to Love Sonya, which was your first film, kind of your first switch to the movies. Unconventional choice. Naturally, I understand why you would take it up because it's a story that I feel all women want. We want it to be told, that this is happening
Yeah.
in the world. But
Yeah.
how did the film happen?
Uh, Panchami, I think the stigma of being a TV actor has made it so difficult for each and every actor, trust me. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to set an example. And there were a lot of opportunities for me to play a glamorous girl, be a part of a romantic film.
yeah,
Uh, but then I realized that what is it, that's something that I've never done before. I have been a happy-go-lucky girl in television. I wanted to do something in order to survive. I want to be in this game, not to win, but to last, you
correct.
know. And that would only happen if I choose a character which is very difficult, where people would come up in the theater, sit in that chair, and be like, is this Bulbul who's playing Sonia? I never thought she could act.
Do this. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think the moment a filmmaker realizes the fact that a person can act, the journey becomes easier.
Of course, and the
Uh,
respect also becomes much higher once they know that you're an artist.
yes. So I felt like this was the biggest opportunity that I can never lose. Although there was a point after reading the script, I got so scared that I told Tabrez Nurani, my director, that I'm not doing this film. And later he had to convince me around 8 rounds, after 8 rounds of audition. So the people who are watching me need to know that the moment we audition, we don't have the script.
Hmm.
People feel like, we have the script, we know
Yeah.
what is going to happen. We don't know. I auditioned for the character Sonia for around 8 months.
What a,
And I was, yes, for
you were
eight
listening for
months
that long for them to figure out if they wanted to go ahead and take you for that part. You're saying.
Yes, because
Okay.
they thought that I was too urban looking for for a rural girl. They thought I was too prettier. And thanks to Virginia Holmes, who made me look like a
Yeah.
girl from village. So
They did
again, that's a task.
lot for that film. Like they've really pulled it down, made you look so much younger, your eyebrows, all of that. They worked on your looks very beautifully. And
My
the
skin
funny
tone.
thing is it looks so real. Even
Yeah.
it looks real.
And the fun thing is, Panchami, I am a farmer's daughter, so I could play that part. I mean, imagine if someone puts me in a role which I have never been through, I've never witnessed, or I've never experienced it. It would look fake that, I'm trying to do that. So and camera is so sharp, camera catches every minute details.
Correct.
So i have I have been to fields, I to my grandpa's fields, worked there, stayed there. How was the condition when there were all these things? And since my dad is a banker, agriculture department, he would deal with a lot of farmers committing suicide. So I would already, it felt like Love Sonia journey started when I was 7, because I would go up to him and ask him, Papa, what is the meaning of suicide? He said, when you don't have money, you have to sell your house, jewelry, sometimes your loved ones. He never said daughter. When he said loved ones, today, while I was doing Love Sonia, it clicked to me that this is what he meant.
Yeah.
So I felt like my preparation for Love Sonia had started even when though I was a kid.
Yeah. I did read somewhere that you did go and live in a brothel to get the experience of what it would be like. So please tell us about that,
Yes.
because that is one sort of method acting or trying to adapt to that kind of like a technique. So what did you do to prepare for the part for Love?
Yeah, so Tabriz Noorani, the director, made sure that we are aware about what we are shooting, because you need to know about the facts. He himself was doing research for over 10 plus years, and he made sure that Preeti, who played my sister, Ria Sisodia, and I spent enough time in a brothel to understand that what is their day like.
Right.
If he wanted us to understand what is that girl's journey, because when you hear the journey from the person, from the victim themselves, you can relate to it. So Love Sonia is basically an amalgamation of all the girls I have met in Sonagachi in Kolkata, and the stories that have been narrated by Ruchira Gupta, who is the founder of Apne Aap, the NGO group, and the writer, and many other cases who I have seen on YouTube. There was a time where I would, just spend hours and hours looking at the video clips of the girls who've been auditioned for the same role, to understand what is that one thing that I can take from this audition, I can take from this girl. It was difficult. The girls would not share their story with us because the trust is the biggest factor.
Yeah, of course.
And Panchami, I wanted to do something. My first film had to be something that would leave an impact on people's heart, because I am what I am because of my audience. I am what I am because of the people who watch me and appreciate and respect my work and take a message home. After they so many people, their mind, their thought process changed because of watching this movie, and I'm happy that I can be the voice to the voiceless.
Correct. It is not I must say it's a difficult film to watch naturally, because these are things that we know are happening around us, but it's not something that we encounter every day, and that's why
Right.
to dig into it kind of emotionally, it's in a bit when it comes to films like this. I do have to ask though, was it difficult for you emotionally to switch on and off when film, or did you have kids that you felt so close?
Yeah.
It was difficult to disconnect from their story, when you come back home, not so comfortable home, and live so safely.
Yeah. So thanks to television, where you switch on and switch off. I tried doing method acting for Love Sonia. I tried getting into the character as much as I could, but trust me, it haunts me sometimes. The memories, the things that I've seen, the things that I've heard, I could recall the girls' faces who were narrating me the story as to what happened with them. So I realized that as an actor, it is important for me. This is how I take it as not to follow it in a method acting way, but to experience and to feel it. People used to ask me, "Are you a good actor?" I said, "No, I think I just feel the situation and the scenario. That's what makes me maybe a better actor or a horrible actor." I think feeling is something which is very important. You need to just hold on to that feeling, make that memory, and store it some part of your, in your brain. And whenever the situation is such, just relate to that memory. Trust me, it works. It always works.
Correct. You're right. So also talking about another scene in Love Story that I loved a lot was actually the scene when you finally, after all of the happiness, you finally find the sister. You go through a bunch of things yourself. A character who's nice in the start, and then when you finally meet the sister, she is so in a sense that she, refuses to accept who you are. And eventually, when she does, she blames it on you. She says that she's there because of you, while you're actually trying to help her. That was a fantastic scene that you did in the film. How did you prep for that scene?
Panchami, this might sound a bit filmy, but when I was 4.5, 5, I got lost in the Nashika Kumbh Mela. It is a funny incident. Trust me. My dad, my sister and I, we three went to this Mela, and my dad asked us to stand in one position where he could just break the coconut and come back to us. But I thought that my dad, some other man who looked exactly like who's wearing clothes exactly like my father, I just followed him and I got lost. There was a point where I had no clue where I was. Imagine a 4-year-old girl in a situation like this. I reached out to the police and they announced my name. And when I met my sister, she was so angry at me. She's like, "Why did you leave my hand? Why did you leave my hand?" She was upset. She may not even remember this, but this small memory of my childhood, I kind of use that for this scene. Because when I left my sister's hand and I went back, looking for my father. Imagine what was my sister's journey, what was her thought process. She would be so upset, she would be so scared. So this time I was thinking as her point of view, which means Sonya was thinking as Preeti's point of view. That maybe the father sold Preeti because Sonya was not that good looking enough. So is that my fault that being, I wish I was not as good looking as Preeti. So, when I play a character, I always think as, what would Sonya do in Love Sonya? Or what would Supriya do in Super 30? What would Nandita do in Batla House? But sometimes we forget that what would Anand in Super 30 do? What is his thought process? So I think understanding thought process of the actor in front of whom you're performing is very important. And that I realized, this is one thing that Tabriz taught me. Tabriz is like, I know what you're going through, but you also need to understand that what is going around you. And when you add those small things in your acting, in your scene, that is what is going to make you vulnerable.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why they say that you can never be a actor, and that's why it's super important, because more than 50% of the performance is on your true act, always.
Panchami, I got so lucky that all the actors who I was performing with, be it Riya Sisodia, it's her debut film, and what a terrific actress she is. I mean, if I did not have Riya, I don't think I would have that bond. Like even today, if we meet, I feel like she's more closer to me than my real sister. And Manoj Vajpayee, Frida, and Richa, and Demi Moore and Mark Duplass, what a crazy list of actors and their experiences. So for me to be on the sets was just like observing them. I would not go to my trailer and wait for my turn. They would wait for the assistant director to call out my name. Just find a corner and just sit there and just watch them. And the way they deal with everything.
The film did have a fantastic cast together. I also sent Frida a message. I was mind blown by what she did with that part. I was like, I don't think anyone expected to see Frida Pinto in such a fantastically gut-free part.
Panchami, I told Tabriz, why didn't you offer me this role? Rashmi is badass.
It's badass. It's totally badass. I enjoyed watching her so much. And I never expected to see Frida in that part, and I thought it was fantastic. It was so much fun what she did.
And I adore her as a human being because when she's so giving, Panchami, look at where she is today.
Yeah,
But still, she's so giving. She's so she values all those
correct.
things,
Yeah,
and she is so one of the most grounded Bollywood actress I have met in my entire till date. Like she's on top one for me. Like I respect her, I admire her, and I look up to her.
yeah, I agree. She's amazing, and what as was the rest of the cast of the film. Okay, quickly
Yes.
moving on. Now, asking you about all the films that you did post Love Sonya, because I love the film so much, we did speak a lot about that film. Also as an actor and for everyone that's watching, Love Sonya had a very challenging performance, and hence I wanted to talk about that a little bit more. But then you, of course, went on to do Super 30 and you did Tufan, and then you've done Patla, then you've done Jersey. I, you have been very blessed in a sense to work with such fantastic, such respected, celebrities. And I'm sure that somewhat, even if you are a newcomer at the movies, it must have been nerve-wracking to work with, such big names. And what was your experience on set to work with these like big celebrities of the
Yeah,
Hollywood cast?
I felt alive, Panchami. I literally felt alive to be on a movie set because when people, like when I was a kid, people always called me by names. I had joint eyebrows, I had boycott, people used to call me, but nobody called me a movie star. And there I was on a movie set with all the talented actors, superstars, and impeccable cast and crew, the director. It was so not, I mean, this is something that I dreamt of.
Yeah,
I idolize each and every actor, crew, co-actors, and technicians I worked with. I realized one thing: it was very difficult for me to look at Ritik and deliver my dialogues because I would just get so intimidated. Not because he's just good looking, but also you always look up to him and you be like, I don't believe it. I'm sitting in front of him doing a film with him. But then I realized that if I have to survive, I have to start addressing him as the character that he's playing
correct.
and just forget that who he is outside this set. Uh, so I just made a point that whichever actor I am with, obviously I idolize them, but to not lose that thing, you always have to be in the character. You have to forget for a matter of for that period of time that you are working with a superstar.
Yeah,
Trust me, when you get intimidated, you're gone. I think then you start fumbling, then you can't deliver your dialogues. And this is one opportunity, one platform, Panchami, that I always wanted to be. So I just told myself one thing, that I cannot screw this opportunity. It's once in a lifetime opportunity. It's like a do or die situation for me. If I do it, it happens. If not, then I'm sent back to where I started from.
yeah, correct. So you basically took it in your stride and were extremely professional.
Yeah, I just treat the actors as normal people.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So
Which sometimes can be difficult, because we've grown up watching these. Like I had a ridiculous poster in my house when I was like much younger. So it's kind of I would say that it's something that it's a very sweet
look,
but
you're blushing.
no, it is a very sweet but nervous. These are people that you admire while you're growing up, and then I think it's fantastic to be able to come to the level of working with them.
Yeah, and one thing I learned from Ritik is the fact that he said that I worked really hard when Kaho Na Pyar Hai, before the premiere night was happened. I worked really hard, and I knew that I worked hard. I don't want anybody's. These are not his exact words. I'm forgetting it, but what he was trying to tell, that I don't want people to tell me how good I am, or how, even if the film works, if it doesn't work, you don't have to, dil pe nahi lagana chahiye.
Yeah.
You need to just keep working hard. Things get difficult, but it's not impossible. So
Yeah.
I have learned a lot from Ritik. He's just a normal human being. He's very grounded, down to earth, and a lot of things that I learned from him. And whenever situation like this happened, that I was nervous. I think one of the biggest key is, if you are nervous, just tell and confess to the person in front of you that,
You're not.
look, I'm
Yeah.
nervous. I I am your fan, and I don't believe it that I'm working with you.
Yeah.
So is it okay? So there was a situation where I actually mentioned that, Ritik, I'm not going to call you sir, because I think it's coming in between the chemistry of Supriya and Anand.
Of
So
course.
he's like, yeah, it depends upon you actually, and our job is to make sure that everybody who's watching Supriya and Anand, it should feel real. It should feel
Correct.
like, oh, even I had a girlfriend in Patna who I could not marry.
Yeah.
So I think surrendering is something which is very important. I just surrender.
Okay. Perfect. So I do want to ask you, from your other co-actors like Farhan or Sean or Shahid, is there something that you specifically learned from them that you still kind of admire and you still kind of took a note from that platform?
From to begin with, Ritik, he is extremely hardworking. And sometimes I remember when I shot my first commercial, take 1, take 10, take 30, take 39, take 60, 70, 80. It doesn't really matter how many takes you
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
What matters is the final output.
Right.
So do not, sometimes I as an actor would feel bad about the fact that, shit, I'm taking so many takes. No, it's okay. It's emotions, and emotions only come at the right time. So do not feel sorry about that. Whenever the roll, camera, action happens, make sure that you give your best.
Yes.
So that is one thing I learned from Ritik, and I respect and adore him for that. From when it comes to Farhan, he himself is a director, so he understands what is going on in an actor's mind.
Mind.
I would always be like this on set, because this is a very difficult character after Love Sonya I played, and I was really, really scared, because when you have a deadly combination like Rakesh or Prakash Mehra and Farhan Akhtar, you just want to be there. You just don't want to be like, oh, that's the biggest fear.
Yeah.
So Farhan just told me that we would just discuss the situation, what would have happened to his character before this scene,
Right.
which is not written on the paper,
Yeah. Of course.
and what would have happened to my character before we came to the scene. So do you think she would act like this, or do you think is it right? So having a conversation always helps. That doesn't mean that you rehearse the lines, because rehearsing the lines always makes it mechanical.
I agree.
Discussing the situation always helps the scene to come out. It actually blossoms, when you see that scene on screen after having those several conversations.
Yeah.
When it comes to Shahid, Shahid knows how to switch on and switch off. I've learned that from him. He is very focused. He's like, the moment director says roll, camera, action, he's in it till the scene is done. The moment the scene is over, he's like, so what's up? And I mean, how do you do it, man? It's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a quality for sure to have.
That's quite some quality.
Yeah. And then of course lastly John, because you already got love.
Oh yes, John. I am so disciplined because of John.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I started taking care of my skin. I started taking care of my body, my workouts, and John mentioned one thing. Whenever you it was my day 1 Batla house. I was scared. He just, we were shooting a song. He just said, just smile, yaar, Mrunal. You're half the battle is won. So I use it, whenever situation where I feel like I'm at a spot where I don't know how to answer, or I have no answer to that particular question, I just smile and I just confess that, okay, mujhe nahi pata. So it's okay to not know things, and it's okay to just smile, and things just get easier. He made me understand, he made me realize that you have a biggest weapon, and that's your smile. Might as well use it.
You do have an amazing smile, I must say. You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you. Thank you.
So very quickly move on. We'll take a few questions before we go off from
Yes.
That's a lot, but let's take 1 or 2. Um, okay, co-actors we already asked, right? So we're not asking about that. Uh, you have lots of compliments here, Mrunal.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Panchami, I have a question for you actually.
Of course, please do ask.
You know, there are a lot of people who I meet in the market or in the mall. They
Yeah,
always ask me, you know, it's really difficult to be there, right? To be the leading lady, to
yeah,
get a part in the movies, you know, to be on that screen. You know, when I look into their eyes, they have a story. You know, they
yeah,
have this struggle. So I just like I as a commoner, as a you know, I as you know, I always used to think, you know, because also recently I just saw Hollywood, the series on Netflix.
yeah,
There is this process how they function,
yeah,
the process of screen tests.
yeah.
Do you think that screen test should happen for each and every film that an actor does?
Yes.
Or
I mean,
because I feel like I miss that, you know,
yeah,
my process was Love Sonya audition for 8 months.
yeah,
Tufan, I did give a screen test.
yeah.
Super 30, I did give lot of tests. But now I feel like uh, that it's missing
Yeah.
somewhere.
So I'll tell you that this is a very, it's a bit of a tricky question because in India we follow a different kind of pattern from anywhere else in the world. Well, to be very honest, I think that everybody, this is my stance on any part, any movie, whether you're big or you're small. That's the way that I see. Uh, what I do think happens because we are dealing in a very different kind of industry now. Sometimes people, I don't know why in Bollywood, sometimes people take offense at giving. I don't know where and when that was started, but I do have to say that it is slowly changing now with the corporates coming back into the picture, which is like Amazon, Netflix. They will always ask for an audition. And I do think that's a fair way of going about things. It's also nice for the director to be able to see the character, the lines, jam with the actor for us to jam. It's a very creative, collaborative process, and I really enjoy it. And very often we are coming up with, and when that happened, for instance, I just did Shakun for we casted a lead, and we went through an absolutely normal process in which no, we were looking for a new boy, but there were established that were coming in testing. There were friends of so we kept it a very common process for everyone. Come in, give your audition, prove yourself. If you're good, then you're on. It was like that.
Absolutely.
Which is
You
the best.
have.
I think it's the best way to do it, really, uh,
Yes.
because then you're giving an equal chance also to everyone that's out there.
Yeah. Also, Panchami, there's this something very important I wanted to talk to you about, especially for the people who are watching to
Yeah.
understand. It is okay when you go through rejection. Like I got rejected so many times by casting directors, and they said that you don't look the part.
Hmm.
I went home. I was depressed. I
Yeah.
was literally depressed. But then when I saw the movie, I realized that there is a reason why I've been not casted. You know, there is a reason because I may not look the part.
Correct.
So just I think because there are a lot of questions in my DM also because a lot of people are dealing with depression these days, mental
Yeah.
health because they get rejections.
Yeah.
So
If you're asking me what is the way to deal with it, really, honestly, it's part of the process. I think that to take rejection in your stride is very important. It's okay if you don't look a part. It's fine. You don't look this part, you look another part. It doesn't mean that you don't look any part. It's just that also, I think slowly the barriers of body positive, gender positive, sexual orientation positive, color positive, all of that is
right.
slowly changing now. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't work on brands that are any kind of fairness brands. That's because that's something I want to stand for as a human being. But I think it's okay to not take it so much at heart and never get rejected for someone that you're not good looking enough. I mean, I want to kill all the people in the world who say that somebody is not good looking enough because who sets the who sets the standards of what good looking is? It's
Absolutely.
a very big spectrum, and you can be beautiful in one way to someone that may not be beautiful to someone else. That's completely opinion related. It doesn't define how beautiful or not you are in any way. So I think that I hope the times are changing. People should not take it to heart. Just learn it from one year and throw it out from the other. You have your own journey. You just got to be set on that.
Yeah, trust me, my journey is so impeccable and I own it. Like, that's what makes me
Own it.
happy.
Always.
That whatever part came for me in the past were not really meant for me. Love Sonya was the film which made an impact internationally, which made me travel all around the world, all around the globe to the United Nations, screen there, get many debut awards from the film festivals, nothing like that. And to get compliments where I've been compared with Smita Patil is like insane. So what is meant to be, it's meant to be. There's no point crying for something that's not yours.
I do think that you should not turn back. Like, you truly feel like you're in it for the action, which is something I tell actors all the time. But don't be in it for being famous. Don't be in it for being glamorous. Be in it because you want to be an actor. Which then also means that you shouldn't have so many preconceived notions about your journey. Like, it's okay for you not to do a big part for the first. So getting something that's good, go for it. Don't have all these like preconceived notions and I've only done and all of that.
Exactly, that's what, because when people question, people called me, they're like, why are you not there in the trailer of Super 30? There's not even a single thing. And you know what, if I invested my energy in all those questions, I would actually forget the fact that I'm doing good. I am happy that I got to be there on the screens with Hrithik Roshan. As simple as that.
Insecurity, now it builds insecurity for no reason. You don't need to be insecure. You've
Exactly.
done it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's important.
Yes.
Okay, now we won't take up too much of your time. We
Yes.
can take 2 quick questions. And then
Please.
we can... One second. We have to choose for 99 questions.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Okay. Okay, most of the questions have been covered actually. A lot of questions about that.
Just want to say thank you to all the guys who've seen Love Sonya, first of all.
Yeah. How could
Hi.
Mrunal, what are your memories about Super 30? Like any fun memories?
Fun memories.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Super 30. 3 months before we started filming, I was really scared because I had not met Hrithik. And we had to have that little bit dialect where it's not kya hai, it's ka hai re. Matlab, that leza. So my teacher would teach, Ganesh sir would teach us, why not begin with a song? Because once you start with a song, it becomes easier for you. So when I met Hrithik, he had that gamcha on his shoulder, and I just kept looking at him, and he spoke that language, that accent so well. बहुत ही मजा आता था, मतलब इतना मजा करते थे हम. और जैसे कि शब्द we would use शब्द like बहुत एक उल्टा हाथ का कंटक मारेंगे, all these गर्दा हिला देंगे, so this was very funny. We would always get carried away in that dialect.
Right, be entertained by it.
Yeah. So this was the funniest thing on the sets of Super 30.
Okay, cool. So quickly taking one more. So many people have so many from you, by the way. They all love Sakshi and Bulbul.
Yeah, Sakshi and Bulbul are very close to my heart. I have fans more in Nigeria, Indonesia, and Kenya than India. Can you believe that?
Are you serious? Do you?
Yes. When I check my Instagram profile and when I see that who are the people who are interacting with me, so Kenya, Nigeria, Indonesia, Pakistan, India. These are the countries, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, that access is definitely. So people actually are asking if you'll be coming back on TV. Wow.
Are you coming back in Kumkum Bhagya? I would love to, because I absolutely miss the entire cast and crew. You know, I
Yeah.
just want a reunion episode to happen. That would be so much fun with Arjit, Smriti, Shabir, Supriya ma'am, Madhu Dadi. Oh my god. It was like a cult, like a slice of life.
I'm sure it must have become like family work towards the end of it.
Yeah, like my best friend is Madhu Dadi. And we just call each other and we like, okay, I bought this lipstick, like that's how thick we are.
Yeah.
So yes, I would want to have a reunion episode where all my favorite are in one frame.
That's amazing. Okay, anyway, Mrunal, thank you so much for your time. Once again, you've been so informative with your answers. I'm sure that the audience is going to love it and learn so much from you towards the intention behind it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much
Panchmi.
for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. This
And
really
lots
means
and
the
lots
world to
of
me.
love to you and onward and upward, of course, always.
Thank you so much. Lots of love to you.
Thank you so much, Mrunal.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
my love. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.